Good evening, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So I've been reading this article coming out of the Federal Reserve. Is the recent tax reform playing a role in the decline of home sales? It's dated April 15th, 2019. And these, who is it written by? Richard Peach and Casey McWillian. And these guys are really good. What they did here is they took three different time periods, right? They took the subject time period that they're talking about, which is the fourth quarter of 2017 to the third quarter of 2018, and they wanted to know if the decline in home sales was due to the interest rates increasing, the mortgage rate increase, or was it due to the tax changes that took place. So what they did is they found two comparative mortgage rate increase time periods, right? So they found in 2013, from the first quarter to the fourth quarter of 2013, interest rates increased 0.8%, and then again in the second quarter of 2016 to the first quarter of 2017, they found that interest rates increased 0.6%. So these were like comparative time periods that they could use to compare the third quarter of 2017 to the fourth quarter of 2018 decline. And what they found in there is that during 2013, that pretty much house sales just leveled off, right? And then in the second time period that they were talking about, the 2016 to 17, they actually found a 10% increase in home sales during that time. So, and then comparatively, like the last time period, the most recent one that they're comparing, the upper end houses had declined, right? Now they found that the increases in the other time periods, the houses that declined were at the lower end. If the house, like the upper end houses, actually increased or leveled off, but it's in those previous time periods when interest rates would rise, it was the lower end that would pretty much suffer the sales. But this time around, it was the upper end. Okay, and then he goes on to explain it like this. With this huge math problem that I have no idea what it means. It goes on for 2 pages, and I'm just going to have to trust the Federal Reserve on this one because I read it 4 times and I still don't understand what they were talking about. But he goes on to explain this one. I'm going to see if I can read it here. It's really small and dark in here. Let me see. In the next section, we present the analysis of the recent period focusing on the high-priced homes in the areas with high tax rates. We assume property taxes are 2.5% of the home value, which is typical for the high tax jurisdiction, and that the amount borrowed to purchase the home exceeds the cap of $750,000, which is often the case for the homes in higher price ranges. This means that the mortgage interest is no longer deductible at the margin, raising the effective mortgage rate by 2.2 percentage points. Under these assumptions, the cost of capital appears to increase from around 1% to 5% for these homes. So they pretty much just priced everybody right out of it. And typically, at least from what I gather from this, typically when most people are going to qualify for a home, they're going to shoot for what they qualify for. So if you qualify for an $800,000 home, you go for an $800,000 home. And because they have taken these I don't know, what is it, these enjoyments of being able to deduct these interest rates from your taxes, since they removed that from the higher end, well, people who could barely afford to get there really can't afford to get there now. And so what happens is you take a whole bunch of pool of people out of the system who would typically normally try and go for one of those houses, seeing as how they can enjoy these tax deductions that they no longer get to experience, seeing as how they got these tax reforms that have taken place. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. It's a really decent article if you can get past that, how they figure out that math equation on how they figure all that part out. Maybe some of you who are mathematicians out there who could let me know. Uneducated Economist. Talk to you later.